Solidarity!
Canada Post workers hit the picket lines outside the Gateway complex in Mississauga this morning. The hub processes up to 1 million pieces of mail a day. Workers were out at locations throughout the GTA. 680's Carl Hansky was with workers and asked about their demands.
The issues that we have is that they've been negotiating for about 10 months, and it's all talk, so we need to have some action now with the health and safety, the forced overtime for our external workers that are happening. So we need to have some real solutions here, and, you know, the talk is done. Like, let's get on with it. Let's have some action. They've been talking for 10 months, and it's time for Canada Post to get serious, to deal with the issues with our national union and our national negotiators, and get a contract.
About 9,000 postal workers were involved in today's strike action, which affected most of the GTA, with the exception of Scarborough. This is the second day of action by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. The first walkout was on Monday. There were about 50,000 unionized postal workers throughout Canada. Now, while thousands of Ontarians are still waiting for their legal weed packages to be delivered by Canada Post, keeping up with the cannabis is becoming a struggle across the country. So some storefronts have actually had to shut down in some provinces because their shelves are empty. Tonight, we take a look at how all of this is rolling out.
This has never happened before. This is a totally new world for us.
A couple of storefronts in Edmonton have been weedless for days and are struggling to restock. According to CityNews in Winnipeg, most stores there have sold out of multiple strains completely and are now only offering limited products, while their online store sold out just hours into legalization. Quebec is now alerting its customers to a lack of products, including oils, sprays, gels, and pre-rolled joints. If you scroll through the Ontario cannabis store, similar issues. Under the oil and capsule category, there's only one option, and the cheapest gram of pot that was selling for $7.95 on day one no longer appears on the website. Here's why marketing professor David Soberman compares stocking weed to stocking candy.
If you take a look at a Lifesavers rack, which is, a product where there are many different flavors, in order to fill the rack, you probably have to have, let's say 600 rolls of Lifesavers. But an average corner store in a day might only sell 50 or 60 rolls. But in order to make the consumer happy, they have to have a full selection. What they don't want to do is stock out on a certain flavor. So it means that the amount that's actually available that you have to put to fill the shelf is much higher than the actual daily demand. And that's what's creating the problem.
Canopy Growth is the largest pot producer in the country. Founder and CEO Bruce Linton tells me by the end of October, they will have shipped close to 1 million containers of weed.
Coming out of the gate, no one knew how much they wanted in inventory and what they wanted. So you take the first orders in. Reality is you start small and just keep shipping more.
Right now, pot retail across the country is a mix of online and storefronts. Soberman says this model is complicating the supply situation.
If all of the sales were through online retailers, the problem would be vastly reduced, because that's one of the ways that Amazon, for example, makes a huge amount of money, is that they don't need nearly the same inventory to supply the same number of people. And it's because the variability across places where people buy is not correlated. But when you actually everybody orders from the same place, you're able to predict demand a lot more accurately.
What demand will look like when the novelty of legal weed wears off in the coming months is still unknown. Right now, Quebec is already reporting a continuous decline in sales since the hype of legalization almost a week ago.
Here we've got not only the change of legalization, but we've also got distribution, we've also got producers, we've also got stockout problems, we've also got a black market. There's all kinds of things going on at the same time, so it's really whole new territory for everybody.
Now, we did get an update from the Ontario Cannabis Store late this afternoon. It says that this province received more orders for legal weed than all of the provinces combined. It also says that it does have enough supply to fulfill those orders, but your packages could be delayed a little further because of the ongoing strike by Canada Post workers. The OCS, the Ontario Cannabis Store, says that the majority of first-day orders should be fulfilled within days.